Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Clients First. This segment, as promised, is about credit repair and what exceptional lenders do to get clients loan eligible. Today's guest is superstar senior lender, loan originator, Bryce Jackson from First Home Bank. And he is going to, today, I'm going to pretend to be a fictionalized buyer with a credit score that's just slightly below where it needs to be. Maybe I have a little bit debt to income issue, and maybe I have something that needs to come off of my score. And Mr. Jackson Bryce is going to help me with an outline of what I need to do to move my score to be loan eligible. So good morning, Mr. Jackson. I want to thank you first for being my loan officer and taking all of my information. Can I buy my house today?
Today, good morning, Mary. How are you? I'm Bryce
fine,
Jackson.
Mr. Jackson. I'm fine, Mr. Jackson. Thanks for taking my application. The website was a little tricky, but I was able to upload everything.
Oh, that's great. If you have any problems, you can always go to YouTube, and there's directions on how to go over any items that are on my website.
Okay, great.
I currently work for First Home Bank, and I'm a senior originator. And as you were talking about, you're talking about buyers or first-time home buyers that are marginal, or not really marginal, that are their scores a little bit lower than what the minimums are. Mm-hmm. And what we do to get those scores up, it's a couple different things. We run a scenario, and in that scenario, we see what can be paid off. We see, we look at the charge-offs. We see any old collections that we need to be paid off and deleted, and it's very important that these items are deleted. When I say deleted, I mean removed from the credit bureaus, from all 3 credit bureaus. With that, scores can rise, and we can rescore to get you eligible to purchase.
Okay, so you said all 3 credit bureaus, but Mr. Jackson, my little app on my phone said that I had a good credit score. Why is the score, the bank pull, different?
Well, when the bank pulls the credit score, well, first of all, what you on your phone is a third party. And what we work with is the direct lenders themselves, all 3 credit bureaus. Mm-hmm. So when we're doing a credit pull for a mortgage, it is more in depth. It goes back longer. It has, it's more detailed, I guess is the best way to say it. So that score is more refined, and it's not an exact science. A lot of times I get that, my Credit Karma score is this, and I don't understand why my score is this. And it's the fact that we, when we do this credit pull, it goes in further detail.
Okay. So my fictionalized buyer has to do some things, and then what happens with the application? How do you get that person loan eligible that has the charge-off item? What do they need to do, and how does the bank handle that?
Depending on what type of loan we're doing, I try to see if I can move on with it. If you're doing a government loan, like an FHA loan, you can usually get past you can run your automated approval with the charge-off. They're not really looking at the charge-off. Depending on what stage it is, if it's in collection stage, you might want to go work out a deal with them. Or if it's in the dispute stage, we need to get the dispute removed. Mm-hmm. All are factors. Usually, it depends on the situation, which way we go.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the fictionalized buyer, I put in an application. You told me I had to contact this creditor with this disputed item or the charge-off item, repay the balance or make some type of arrangement with the creditor. And then how do I get that removed from my credit?
Great question. I would ask for proof. So when you're talking and having dialogue with the creditor, ask them for what you paid off in writing. Ask them for what they are removing / deleting in writing, and with it, once they get it back to me, I can submit a rescore to the credit bureaus directly, which takes about 3 to 5 days. And with that, your scores will rise. Now, once we have those scores up to where we need to be, automated approval can be obtained, and we can issue our final pre-approval.
Okay. All right. So, do you have any other foundational advice as far as those people who have no credit and need to establish credit? What do you tell them to do?
Yes, it's crucial that they get either a small credit card or a small secure credit card, and AKA they call it revolving debt. A lot of times people they don't believe in credit cards. They've gotten in trouble in the past and they paid them off and they never used them again. And it's a double-sided coin there, because it hurts you because you don't have debt that you are paying on monthly that's reporting to the credit bureau, meaning that nothing is driving your score up. Now, granted, on the flip side, nothing is driving your score down either. It's just staying there, stationary. So with the revolving debt, we want to have revolving debt, and we want to keep that balance below 10% of the credit limit, the available credit limit. With that, you'll optimize what you get out of that revolving debt. So I always tell people, use the card, but make sure you pay it down immediately, as fast as possible, because you don't know exactly when your credit card is going to report to the credit bureau. So you want to keep it below that 10% as much as possible.
All right. I just want to tell everyone, make sure I just wash my hands and Sean me touch my face. I know y'all probably like, oh my gosh, but I wash my hands religiously. So I'm fine. And I just use the sanitizers on my glasses. I do that 3-4 times a day. So we're good. Because I know people are like, oh, she touched her eyes. So anyway, Mr. Jackson. So after we do all of that, how do you relate or let the buyer know that they're ready? And then what should they be doing while they're waiting? Is it okay if you have an idea of what, if they make these corrections, how much house they can afford, for them to just start looking at homes online to just get an idea of what they want to do? What do you recommend?
It's possible. Yes. I mean, just, of course, you give them a little room, and they definitely try to go more. But yes, I do say I give them a range. This is what you can buy. This is what we can get you pre-approved for if we complete what I asked you to. And with that, with the credit score, your scores will rise. So yes, I do give them a range of where they can, so they can do some window shopping, I guess you would say, and get their feet wet for them, so they can, when their scores due, A, gives them some motivation to actually go out and do the work that I asked them to do. But on top of that, they can see the house and see exactly what they want to buy.
So, Mr. Jackson, do you, in today's market, with just knowing what you know as being a senior loan originator, I'm gonna just ask you, do you recommend that a buyer waits until they find the house to then go to the lender, or should they? What should they do? What's the first thing they need to do?
They need to see a financial a loan originator, a loan officer, to pre-approve them. We should be the first step, because you want to find out what you can do, what you can buy, what you can't buy. And if you can't buy, what it takes to get to so that you can buy.
All right.
It's very important to see or be pre-approved before you go shopping, because when you go shopping, you want to be able to pull the trigger. And if you can't pull the trigger, I mean, you can walk out of the house and somebody else pulls the trigger, and you wake up in the morning and you lost the house because you didn't do the financing.
Okay. So I want to just thank you again for those very cogent points about what they can do and how you exactly do this. And this is what you do every day, I'm sure. Because none of us always have perfect anything with credit. It fluctuates so I want to thank you. And I just want to let everyone know that following this episode, next week, we're going to have a special guest from Operation Hope, who is a credit repair counselor and a certified home education counselor, and her class is free. And if you subscribe to the channel, you will get the credit counseling book. And once you get that fixed, then you can go over and see Bryce, and we can get you out and get you to loan eligible so that you can buy a home. Thanks again, Bryce, for joining.
Thank you for having me, Mary.
For another episode of Clients First. I appreciate you. Thanks, everybody, for watching and subscribing. Bye-bye.